and the date is August 13, 2010, and you're watching Fight 4, the headline card of the Bad Blood fight. It's Tim Bell, the man himself, the PABA champion, versus Joel Casey. And I'm Patrick Skeen. Joining me as my co-host tonight is SEN Radio's Troy Zantuck. How you doing, Troy? Excited?
Oh, am I excited. Another crowd there, fever pitch.
Now this fight tonight is called Bad Blood, and it's because of this fight. This is two old sparring partners coming together. Thank you, promoter Charlie Liparotta. Let's get down to battle.
Tiger Tim Bell, age 31, against jumping Joel Casey. Two guns Casey, age 26, and the action is aplenty.
And Casey in the gold trunks with red trim, and Bell in the yellow trunks with black trim. Casey looking to use his evasive skills as Tim the Bull Bell moves forward. The Tiger, he's only got one way, and that's straight in to expose any weakness you've got. And Casey's got to use the skills. He's had a lot of wins recently, Joel Casey, rebirthed his career in Melbourne, and here he is fighting for the PABA light heavyweight title held by Tim Bell. He's the reigning champion, and he's not going to give it up without a fight.
And we've got Tiger Tim Bell, 24 fights, 18 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. And he's got an extraordinary knockout ratio of 54% against Casey's 28. Casey's 18 fights, 10 wins. And,
well, we're talking one of Australia's pedigree fighters. He's ranked number 3 in the WBA, 11 in the WBC, 14 by the WBO. So this really is a rocky shot for Joel Casey, and he's up for it. He signed up for the fight. He wants to fight Bell. He wants to show he's the best light heavyweight in the nation.
And Tim Bell with the orthodox stance, Joel Casey with the southpaw.
And no one's really got the ascendancy here in round one. Nothing significant landed by either fighter. Tim Bell pressing forward, and Joel Casey showing his skills in the latter stages of round one.
Interesting exchange pre-fighters. Tiger Tim Bell entered the squared circle, coming over to give Joel Casey a hip and shoulder. Casey just shrugging it off.
An old rugby league nudge that was, but it's called Bad Blood, and there's these guys want to win. They know each other very well. They've sparred over 100 rounds together, and it's showtime to see who is the best light heavyweight. They won't die knowing.
Absolutely. Joel Casey, old school skills, old school boxing skills. And obviously Tiger Tim Bell, well, everybody knows his modus operandi. He's a walk-forward puncher who takes no prisoners.
Joel Casey's money punch is either his left hook or his straight left, being the southpaw. And a great straight left there from Joel Casey. The first significant punch of the fight as Bell comes back with a sharp left jab to the face of Casey. And both fighters tie up, but nothing really significant landed for either fighter. This round's still up for grabs.
Both fighters with tremendous followings in Victoria, Patrick. A full house here at the Reggio Calabria Club in Brunswick, and they're appreciative of this boxing extravaganza put on by Charlie Liparotta.
There was as many boos as there was cheers for both fighters, so we're evenly split, and the judges will be evenly split after round one. Tim Bell putting the belt up against old sparring partner Joel Casey in Bad Blood, and I had Casey in the first round. I thought he did enough. Troy, yourself?
The other guy probably had Bell just, but again it was, wow, 7.
Bell bringing punch output, and Bell really looking to bring this to a toe-to-toe slugfest, and that's where he does his best work. And Bell, the favourite in the fight, paying $1.25. Joel Casey paying $2.25. But not much between these two fighters so far. They know each other well. It might be difficult really for them to solve each other's puzzle.
Yes, it's a conundrum wrapped in a labyrinth, this particular bout. It's
Casey moving forward, trying to land that trademark left, and Bell counters there with a good straight right to the head of Casey, both coming off evenly in that exchange. And a slapping wild right there from Casey lands on the mark, but not a particularly effective power punch, but certainly gets his impact. Casey moving forward with both hands.
Nicknamed Two Guns Joel Casey because he's got plenty of Tabasco in both those hands when he lets them go. Real crowd favourite, as is Tim Bell. A tremendous following, as I said, in Victorian boxing circles. Right hand, left hand exchange there by Tim Bell.
Tim Bell moving forward. This is where he loves to fight. Joel Casey says, I'll trade with you. And he moves forward and backs up Tim Bell. Excellent first exchange here in the second round, and both land significant punches in a power exchange.
It was a case of ring-a-ding-ding from Tim Bell there with that left-hand jab that really
and this is an old school battle for the ages. If you like two guys standing and going at it, we'll look no further than the PABA light heavyweight title tonight. Already rattled by that exchange, Troy.
Boy, oh boy, the punt is getting value for money already.
Two of the big ones. If you're looking for ring generalship and foot speed, you're not going to get it in this fight. They're willing to get into the trenches right now, into the kitchen, and both these guys want to find out who is the best light heavyweight in Australia, with, of course, Blake Caparello waiting in the wings. Can't question Joel Casey for his quality of opposition recently. Went over to New Zealand and put his WBF title on the line. Lost to Salem Punseby, but went 12 big rounds. And this is a 12-round contest tonight. So Casey has recent experience of going deep and going long in a fight as Tim Bell lands a very effective straight right there.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. Tim Bell in the clinches. He's very good with that separation punch. Very, very good indeed.
Casey looks to me like he's saying, I want to take the best you've got to offer, Tim Bell, and I'm ready to go you as well, plus show my skills. Neither getting the best of these exchanges. Good punches landed by both fighters. And Joel Casey, relentless, moving forward. He's been the more active of the two fighters. Excellent round two. Round three, PABA light heavyweight title is on the line. Tim Bell, Joel Casey, old sparring partners, going at it in bad blood. And Tim Bell starts off and lands, and Casey comes straight back. And these two want to go toe-to-toe in the middle. Who's this going to suit?
Tim left hand there by Tiger Tim.
And Joel Casey backs up a bit underneath the power, the relentless power of Tim Bell moving forward. And this is most where he wants to do it. Casey, you would argue, should be moving to the left, moving to the right, showing some defensive skills, because going toe-to-toe with Tim Bell, that could be interesting this early.
Well, it could be a recipe for disaster. And Ignatius Missilades, he had a word to Joel. But both fighters back into the middle of the ring, exchanging unpleasantries.
Still evenly contested, but Tim Bell getting the best of things early here in round three, landing some significant shots. And Joel Casey, in the first touch of bother, his experience in the round, he really wants to rely on the skills that he's been accumulating in the last 3 or 4 years, and lands a good left shot and land right hand to the midsection of Tim Bell. And Casey moves forward, and Tim Bell wants to fight it out in the middle here. This is where he does his best work. But Casey is certainly coming back in this round, starting to land some shots of his own.
What a great fight this has been today. The third round. Scheduled to go 12.
Skill, toughness, heart, both all on display here between these two fighters. And Tim Bell's got one style and one style only, and that's move forward and show you what you've got. And Joel Casey, he can fight a number of ways. He can come inside and out, but he's looking to stand toe-to-toe in exchange, and that's the way he loves to fight. We saw his two brutal wars with the junkyard dog, Kane McKay, early this year at the end of last year, and he really is his happiest toe-to-toe. But that may not be the plan that Charlie Liprot has mapped out for him. Charlie wants to move, use his skills, and not get caught in a trading war with the champion, Tiger Tim Bell. And Casey lands another good straight left hand.
What you've got to like about Casey, he doesn't take a backward step, he just keeps coming at you. He's relentless.
Well, so far, I think Casey's landed the most significant shots of this round as he backs Tim Bell into the corner, and Bell fights his way out easily and lands some good shots on the way out. And what an entertaining round three's been. Swinging fortunes so far. I've got Casey ahead as Bell lands a big straight right of his own. Very difficult fight to score, Troy.
An extremely difficult fight to score, Patrick. Oh, they're being thrown willy-nilly, the punches.
And the clean punches, both landing them, the effective aggression, well, both are being aggressive. It's a seesaw fight, ring generalship, or you'd give that to both of them in defence. Well, not much defence on display. They're both slugging toe-to-toe.
Yeah, Bell with some right and left uppercuts there. That found the mark.
And Casey moves forward. This fight's still up for grabs as they go toe-to-toe as Casey lands two significant shots on Tim Bell.
He's like a freight train, isn't he, Joel Casey?
Round four, PABA light heavyweight title. We're in a war, and these two warriors come out in exchange. Joel Casey looking to impose himself early, lands some big shots on Tim Bell, and Tim Bell steps back into the fray himself. Tiger Tim Bell and Iron Joel, Two Guns Casey, came out roaring at the start of round 4, Troy.
Oh, did they come out humming? The crowd are on their feet. What a tremendous fight this has been.
Charlie Liparotto must have instructed his charge, Joel Casey, to come out and impose himself early and bank something to the judges. As referee Ignatius Missilades gives a warning to Tiger Tim Bell for the use of the elbow. Casey trying to catch Tim Bell off guard early. He certainly won the early part of this round.
Certainly. Absolutely spot on there, Patrick.
Tim Bell reverts to his clubbing style that works well for him. Just high punch output. Casey lands a short, sharp left on the way out there for Tim Bell, and Tim Bell looks at 6s and 7s here early in round 4. He didn't expect this onslaught. It's caught him by surprise.
Well, Tim Bell, he's got those championship qualities.
Casey looking much sharper, much crisper than he did in round 3, even though he really looked the goods in round 3, and he shaded it for me. How did you have it, Troy?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he shaded Bell in that round, but gee whiz, the first 3 rounds of this fight have been
everything as promised. Bad blood, 2 warriors going at it. A bit of feistiness before the fight, but pretty clean, you'd have to say, so far. And these two respecting each other as Joel Casey tries to counter Tim Bell coming in, but seems to lose his grip on the surface here at Reggio Calabria Club, and the crowd is really warming to the contest here. Tiger Tim Bell defending his title, and Joel Casey wants that belt as he moves forward. Standing on the outside, still got his hands up, Joel Casey, and that's what he wants to do. Tiger Tim Bell can land that big right at any time and change the course of this fight.
I'm liking the way that Casey just holds up Tim Bell just for that fraction of a second, just to get his breath, and it's a great tactic.
Bell moving forward like he likes to do. Casey doesn't flinch, comes in, ties up Bell, looking to go on the inside and land a few shots of his own and not let it have his own way. Quite fancies himself, does Joel Casey, fighting on the inside, as referee Ignatius Missilades warns him for the use of the head.
I think Casey definitely does his best work inside, attacking the body of his opponent.
And at this stage, you'd say Bell's having a few problems with Casey's southpaw style. And Casey, for the first time, we've seen some blood in the fight. Casey bleeding from his left eye. That may have come from the use of the head that we saw Ignatius Missilades talk of, or it may have come from a punch. We have no indication yet, as Joel Casey clubs himself out of that exchange with Tim Bell. But first sign of blood, Troy.
Yeah, first sign of blood. Round 4 of this tremendous fight, scheduled to go 12.
Tim Bell lands a good left hook. Casey lands a straight left in exchange. Great round again. And Joel
Round 5.
Round 5, yep. PABA light heavyweight title, and Tim Bell and Joel Casey are going at it again. And we've just had a ruling that the blood on Joel Casey's eye has been ruled by Ignatius Missilades to be a cut, and the two fighters start exchanging again. Bell getting the better of that toe-to-toe exchange with Joel Casey. So if it stopped because of that cut, Troy, the fight is over.
The fight is over, and ring-a-ding-ding, Tim Bell comes out, all guns blazing in the first 15 seconds of this round.
And that's a mirror of round 4, when Joel Casey came out and stole the early part of that round, and Bell's come out all business as these two exchange punches in the middle of the ring, and what a great fight this has turned out to be.
Will this inspire Casey? He's fought a tremendous fight so far.
Oh, excellent left uppercut landed. Tim Bell rolls back into the fray. He says he wants some more, showing no respect for Casey's power.
A contemptuous look there by Tim Bell and Joel Casey.
And Ignatius Missilades again warns Tim Bell for use of the head. Tim Bell just the way he likes it, Sakio Bika style, walking forward, clubbing, and looking to make some sort of mark there on Joel Casey. Lands a great straight right on Casey. Casey comes back and lands a combination of his own, not significant power shots, but certainly landing. Cut eyes added an element of intrigue to the fight, Troy.
Yeah, they do, and they also present a big target for the boxer looking to make that cut a lot bigger, and that's what Tiger Tim Bell zeroing in on. But Joel Casey, well, Mr. Resilience, make no mistake about it.
There's resilience, so they both exchange left and right hooks, both fighters, and Joel tries to land a straight left down the pipe, but it lands on Tim Bell's shoulder, and tries to land it again, and Tim Bell punches himself out of trouble. Again, this has come into a power struggle, a battle of powers. They're both standing inside the ring, and very little clinches, and a warning again's come from Ignatius Missilades to Joel Casey. So quite a few warnings in this fight, but it hasn't seemed particularly malicious, or nothing bad's really gone on, Troy.
No, nothing too untoward's gone on, but nevertheless, we've got one of the great fights.
Except for Tim Bell doing a bull charge at the start of the round as Tim Bell lands a left and a right. And Casey's still moving forward. Another difficult round to score here in round 5. Both fighters moving forward, neither giving in, connecting cleanly, both of them. Strategy's gone out the window. These two have turned it into a pub brawl as they move forward. Casey lands left, Bell goes to the body. Even in tight, these two, they won't clinch, they'll both move forward.
Wow, they're closer than Siamese twins are. At the moment, they're really getting in close.
And these two have done this for countless of hours in the ring sparring, and here they are, finally settling who is the best light heavyweight in Victoria. Moving forward, relentless pressure from Tim Bell, but he's not having it all his own way. And Joel Casey's putting on a sterling display of skills tonight.
That's the bell.
Round 6 PABA light heavyweight title, and it's all up for grabs as Tim Bell comes roaring out against Joel Casey, and that's been the pattern they've set in the last couple of rounds, coming out not getting caught off guard, and it's all Tim Bell early in round 6. How'd you have round 5, Troy?
Yeah, I had Bell on top there. Bell come out all guns blazing early on in that round, and I thought he did enough.
And I thought he took the best Joel Casey had to offer and came back with some stronger punches and more significant punches himself. I also gave the last round to Tim Bell. And what a fight it's been so far, wildly entertaining.
Oh, absolutely, Patrick. And as I said, the crowd getting great value for money. Casey, a nice left hand of the jaw of Tim Bell. Bell operating in a phone box at the moment.
He loves it on the inside.
Yeah.
That's where he wants it. Counter punching off the ropes as Tim Bell as they go toe to toe in a furious exchange.
And then applies the headlock.
Both fighters landing significantly. Joel Casey loving it on the inside, willing to take Tim Bell on and step into a toe to toe. And these two are going at it. Casey and Bell toe to toe. Unbelievable action here at the Reggio Calabria Club as Missilides intersects these two. Crisp, clean punches. Looks like they want to stand and end it right there, Troy.
Oh, wow. What an exchange that was between the combatants, Joel Casey and Tim Bell. The crowd, they rose as one.
Neither man stepping back, wanting to end it right there as Casey lands a good shot to the body. Neither fighter willing to back down. Skills, toughness, heart, the sparks are flying here in Bad Blood in round 6. Can't really ask for more from two big men at the light heavyweight weight. Tim Bell lands fantastic shots as Joel Casey covers up some of the better punches for him in the whole fight and moves forward clubbing. Joel Casey gets on his bike, he starts moving and getting the footwork going until Bell landing the more significant shots. Toe to toe these two guys, Bell moving side to side, Joel Casey moving forward relentlessly, applying the pressure, no backward step taken, no quarter given between these two warriors, and it's Bad Blood, Troy. I'm loving it.
If you don't mind. Bell, ring-a-ding-ding, he's coming, and Joel Casey holding on for dear life.
Joel Casey looking to turn this into an alleyway brawl, both standing right in front of each other. Not much lateral movement as Casey moves for an uppercut. And these two returning to the scene. Joel Casey goes strong into the body. Tim Bell takes his time off, looking to counter. Excellent, times him with a right hand. Oh, this is a good display as Bell climbs back into the fray and says, let's go toe to toe. In the middle of the ring, he's taken some big shots from Casey, and Casey hasn't managed to wobble or stun him, but he's certainly been able to keep him off on occasion.
Oh, this is a fight for the ages. One, a contender for fight of the year, Patrick. This one between Tim Bell, and he's unloading Casey. As I said, holding on for dear life.
Well, Casey landing a few good shots of his own, and another brilliant round here. Round 7, it's the PABA light heavyweight title. Tim Bell versus Joel Casey. Toe-to-toe action so far for the first 6 rounds as we move into round 7. Both fighters showing incredible stamina and both landing shots in that exchange, Troy.
Moving into round 7, Patrick, a quick question. Will it go the distance?
Well, we know that in his last outing, Tim Bell went 10 rounds. We know in his last outing, Joel Casey went 12 rounds, and that's both this year. So they both should have their stamina in order. They've both had good training camps, and this is going to be about will, and it's going to be about heart, and it's going to be who wants it the most.
But the question is, can they keep up this frenetic pace?
They can't keep up. They can't keep up this pace. Someone has to break as Casey moves forward, and Bell goes back to his clubbing style, moving forward, keeping his phenomenal punch output up that has got him to number 3 in the world by the WBA. Bell moves forward. And Casey on the move now, and he needs that footwork. He needs every ounce of that footwork to keep Bell off and to get himself out of trouble. Or he can choose to go and trade with Bell like he did in the last round, and he got away with it.
He did get away with it, but there's a sense of urgency now from Tim Bell.
Casey employing some good stick and move there. He's still willing to come into the kitchen, get in there tight with Bell and try and smother it and remove those leverage. Bell needing to plant that left foot to land that powerful clubbing right that he thinks if he lands it, he can end the fight with.
Bell hits best when he finds separation and he can use those telescopic arms, but a great left hand there by Casey.
Casey proving himself strong enough to hold his own in this close quarters, the mauling and the fighting that Tim Bell likes, and that's what's going to make this fight very hard to judge.
Yep.
I've got the fight even right now, Troy. You've got the fight.
Yeah, I've got it in favour of Bell, but look, take nothing away from Casey. Look, it's very even at the moment. It really could go either way. As Tim Bell unloads, but Casey comes back with one of his own, a beautiful left hand.
Casey definitely getting the better of that exchange and matching Tim Bell for power punches. Who can ask for more from two big light heavyweights? Casey lands an excellent right jab there. Southpaw style still proving tricky for Tim Bell, and Tim Bell cannot impose himself on this fight.
Gee, that left hand, that was found the sweet spot there.
That certainly got the judge's attention. He's doing some great work, and he's landing some of those straight lefts. They don't have the power of those big lefts he's been landing, but they will certainly accumulate points on the judge's cards, and Tim Bell comes in with some clubbing lefts and rights of his own. Casey would say he's ahead in this round. He could bank this round. He doesn't have to get in these exchanges. He can save himself. Still a lot to go in this fight. Casey not showing any signs of any stamina issues.
His mouth guard's come out. Joel Casey's mouth guard has come out in the centre ring.
Michelides called times out, and I do detect a cut on Tim Bell's nose. I'm seeing some blood, and they've done some excellent work in the corner of Joel Casey. He's closed off that cut, and Joel Casey can see that as his warrior takes the mouth guard in for Ignatius Michelides, and the hostilities resume.
And it's hot in the kitchen.
Round 8 of a wildly entertaining PABA light heavyweight title. Tiger Tim Bell versus Joel Casey, and these two are at it again. Casey in the gold trunks, red trim. Tiger Tim Bell, yellow trunks, black trim, and they're going toe-to-toe straight into the kitchen at the start of round 8, and this has been a phenomenal fight. And Tim Bell lands a great inside right there, and they're straight back into it, Troy.
It's amazing.
This is a breathtaking war.
Both boys, if I'm not mistaken, have both got cuts. So there's both big targets there.
And Tim Bell cut over that right eye in the last round, and Casey's cut over his left eye seemed to be cleared up. So it's even Stevens on the cut front, and some great work's been done by Charlie Liprotta in the corner. And Tim Bell has flashed Malcolm as Tim Bell moves forward and gets in the better of a clubbing exchange.
That was a rock and roll punch there by Bell.
And Tim Bell having a great start here to round 8. And the pace hasn't let up, Troy. These two warriors relentless going at each other. An old school exchange.
Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. The frenetic pace of this fight.
And I've got the scores, 5-4-3 to Casey, you're 5-2 to Bell. It could go either way depending on what the judges score. But Casey's certainly showing no quit. And Bell the favourite, paying $1.25 against Casey $2.25. But you wouldn't know in here, these evenly contested fighters are going to head into the championship rounds, and who knows, if Casey lands a sneaky uppercut to the head of Bell and gets Bell in the corner. He's not afraid of Tim Bell. He keeps moving forward. Trying to work that left eye of Bell, which is already shown, and lands another excellent straight left. Another excellent straight left to Tim Bell. Landing another punch, and Tim Bell counters out of the corner. Explodes out of the corner.
Casey unloading.
Well, Casey's certainly getting the better of that exchange here. Midway through round 8.
Tremendous arsenal of left hands there by Joel Casey.
And the tide of combat, again a straight right. Straight on the nose, an excellent scoring punch from Tim Bell. Casey moving forward. Seems to have found a second wind here in round 8. And he's moving forward, making the fight. The momentum of the fight's going in his, and he's not afraid to back Tim Bell on the ropes. And I would have been hesitant to recommend that, but he's getting the better of these exchanges, Troy.
It's quite extraordinary, the ebbs and flows of this boxing bout. It's had absolutely everything, and the crowd so appreciative of these two warriors.
Casey's counter-punching in this round is something to behold. He's landed over 10 significant shots as they move into the first serious clinch of the round. What another round it's been. great fight this is. The crowd at the Reggio Calabria really appreciating a tussle for who is the best Victorian light heavyweight with respect to Blake Caparello, who I'm sure will potentially fight the winner of this fight.
But as you said, Casey getting his second win. He's on his toes. He's up and about.
And Casey bullying Tim Bell into the ropes here as Bell looking to land those counter 3 or 4 signature punches. There's no tiring in Tim Bell at the moment, and you saw with that vigorous exchange to get off the ropes. Great round again. Round 9, championship rounds, light heavyweight, PABA title is on the line. Wildly entertaining exchange. It could go either way so far. Tim Bell versus Joel Casey. And these two warriors, it's bad blood. It's titles, bad blood. As Tim Bell lands a furious straight right to the head of Casey to get the initiative early here in round 9.
And it's all about the initiative, isn't it, earlier on in the rounds, and that's what we've found. The boxer that's taken the initiative earlier on.
And we haven't had a second's rest as Casey lands a couple of scoring punches to the head of Tim Bell. These two guys, they just won't give in. They're towering over each other. No one will allow the other to rest the initiative or impose their fight plans. And everything's been thrown out the window. Two guys coming forward in a slugfest. They've waited years for this fight, and now it's here, and they haven't disappointed.
It's come to fruition, and this is a fight that'll be remembered for a very, very long time for the patrons here at the Reggio Calabria Club in Brunswick.
Tim Bell, excellent world rankings, 3 by the WBA, 11 WBC, 14 by the WBA, but Joel Casey doesn't care about reputation tonight. He has brought his A game and brought us a furious struggle.
Has he what? Joel Casey, 2 guns. Casey covering himself in glory at the moment against a true champion in Tiger Tim Bell.
I've got the score of 5-3 in favour of Casey, yourself, Troy, 5-3 in favour of Bell, and this could go either way. We are not official judges here, and it will be fascinating to hear the scoring on this. I thought Casey had the early rounds, Tim Bell came back in the middle rounds, and then Casey's got a second win, but it is a 12-round fight. Both of these guys have been 12 rounds, and who knows what happens as we get into the deep water.
Well, I've had the rounds. Okay, I've got Bell 5-3 at the moment, but to be honest with you, they could have gone either way. Any of these 8 rounds to date, it's been quite extraordinary, the closeness of this fight.
There's been a lot of bullying to the ropes, and they've both been willing to turn it on at certain stages of each round and go toe-to-toe. And this round's still up for grabs. Casey I'd have slightly in front, but Tim Bell's landed some good shots as well as Tim Bell tries to work his way off and counterpunch off the rope as they go inside. Ignatius Missileti separates the fighters, and these two will go toe-to-toe in the middle.
Doing a wonderful job is referee Ignatius Missileti. He's one of the best in the business.
Third man in the ring is exactly the guy you want as Tim Bell lands some clubbing rights and lefts to the side of Joel Casey's head. Joel Casey moves forward. He really fancies himself in these exchanges, presenting some trickiness with his southpaw style as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. It's confusing, it's irritating, it's annoying, all of the above, but wowee, what a fight we've got on our hands.
And Tim Bell's punch output has dwindled here as Casey's getting the initiative in this round. Moving forward, Tim Bell lands a straight right, but I don't think he's throwing enough punches here.
Casey's definitely taken the initiative.
Alan Ibrahim, Brad
Round 10,
Beasley,
12
Rob
minutes
Smith,
to go
facing
in an
Ellie after the
intriguing
fight.
contest.
Penoso, Smith,
PABA
Ibrahim
light
and
heavyweight
Beasley.
title. They both got this belt. Tiger Tim Bell, the reigning and defending champ, versus the challenger Joel Casey. He's bringing his A game as they both come charging out into the fray. Bell getting the better of the exchange, but Casey landing some very good shots as well. Troy, how'd you have that last round?
Yeah, I had that round in favour of Casey, and again, just not much in it at all.
And it was about punch output that last round for me.
But,
the cleaner punches, the more effective aggression, the ring generalship, and good defence by Casey. But defence hasn't been a feature of this war, has it, Troy?
It certainly hasn't. It's definitely been a war of offence.
And the tide of the flow of the fight for me has shifted to Casey in the last 2 rounds. And again, Bell landing enough shots that could
nice
the
left
judges
hand there by Bell that found the mark. Bell certainly starting out this round more composed and really taking the initiative to Joel Casey.
Casey still moving forward. Looking forward to land that left hand, which he scored consistently with over the night. Both of them staying off the ropes at the moment, so really more content to stand in the middle and trade blows, which has made it a very crowd-friendly fight. Some blood I saw coming from the eye of Joel Casey at the end of the last round. That seems to have stemmed as well. The cuts don't appear to be a factor at this stage. Great work, and that's what you get from having Flash Malcolm and Mick Hargreaves in your corner, and Charlie Liprotter and Serge Yannick in the other corner. Your guys that don't panic. Neither of these guys are panicked, and they're presenting themselves for battle here in the 10th and final round. Tim Bell getting the better of these exchanges. Joel Casey landing a good left. But the pace has slowed a little bit here in round 10, and it had to, Troy.
Well, just when you think Bell, he's coming back, Casey comes back with something of his own.
Landing some great shots of his own, and Bell lands nothing significant, but they're all scoring shots on the head of Casey. Casey's still trying to counter both fighters getting tired, but they don't care. They're moving forward. One wants the belt, one wants to keep the belt, and who knows at this stage, the fight's still very much in the balance. Casey lands a good straight left on Bell. Bell moves forward and moves into a clinch as they stand toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. Neither fighter willing to give in. And what a fantastic fight this has evolved to, as the crowd rises to their feet here at the Reggio Calabria. These two warriors not giving an inch.
Tim Bell's corner being very vociferous at the moment. They want their charge. They want their charge at range. They want those telescopic arms working overtime. But Joel Casey, he will not be denied.
Tim Bell trying to maul Joel Casey and trying to bully him, trying to work the strength differentiation. Lands an excellent straight right to the head of Casey, and another right round hook again. And Casey still moves forward and tries to land that signature left. Straight left of his.
There were some heavy body shots there by Tim Bell.
Round 11.
Round 11, and Tiger Tim Bell getting a warning from Ignatius Missilides. He's circling like a shark. He's ready for round 11 in this PABA light heavyweight title against Joel Casey. And two guns move forward, and Tim Bell lands a straight right. Casey lands a straight left, and these two are at it again. Toe-to-toe action from start to finish. How'd you have the last round, Troy?
Had the last round, Bell. Just again, I know I'm sounding repetitive, Patrick, but this fight's had it all. It's been close, it's been tough in the clinches at range. The crowd are absolutely lapping this up.
What a great war it's been, and neither fighter getting the ascendancy. And Bell getting the best of the early exchanges in round 11, and that's how it's been the last couple of rounds. Bell comes out hard. He's like a tiger stalking the ring and moving forward, but Joel Casey, no quit in him. He continues to move forward and landing that trademark left. Lands another straight left on Tim Bell, and these two choose to go toe-to-toe. Some blood coming from Bell's mouth now. They go to toe-to-toe. Big right hand from Bell, and Joel Casey's legs go rubbery for the first time in the fight. It's had an impact, but you won't stop Casey coming forward.
Oh, big left hand there by Tiger Tim Bell. It's Rock Casey. Right, left. Right,
Joel Casey stands toe-to-toe. The crowd's on their feet. This is an extraordinary fight developing, and Tim Bell finding his range with those straight rights and getting the better of the power exchanges.
Oh, Patrick, ring-a-ding-ding, Tim Bell.
This could be fight of the year we're looking at, Troy. Bell moves back into the fray, definitely getting the exchange, and the first signs of power showing on Joel Casey. But he's still willing to move forward. He will not accept Tim Bell imposing this big right hand to be the factor in the fight. He wants to land his left and moves forward. Tiger Tim Bell looking a bit tired, but launches back into the fray as Casey moves to the clinch. Ignatius Missilides separating these two super tired warriors here in round 11.
This is the fight of the year we're witnessing, ladies and gentlemen.
Both sections of the crowd willing on their man. Charlie Liprotter, Serge Yannick crawling. Crowd start chanting for Timmy Bell here, and what a round this has been in round 11. The most one-sided round of the fight, but Joel Casey's still there throwing that left.
Oh,
that
big left hand
exchange
there by
of left
Bell.
hooks and rights.
Another left hand there by Bell. Come on,
Casey's down and goes down for the first time. Casey's down in this war. Will the warrior get to his feet? Ignatius Missilides putting the count on him, and it's all going Tim Bell's way. This warrior only knows one way forward. The crowd is on their feet. Here at the Reggio Calabria, bad blood it is turned into. There's blood on both fighters as Tim Bell goes to land the knockout punch. Furious exchanges from both fighters, no quit. Joel Casey seems to have regained his senses after that brutal knockdown.
Whoa! Shabango, Bell. He unloaded furiously on Joel Casey. The mouth guards come out. Casey gets the mouth guard put in by referee.
Casey's now bleeding heavily over the left eye and comes out and lands a big shot If he gets caught in those power exchanges, big round for Timmy Bell. The crowd is on their feet, and Joel Casey still stands tall. Timmy Bell certainly got the momentum with a 10-8 round in the last round, and that swung the tide of the fight. But Joel Casey's not going to give in here. He still could have a points lead, and that could all come down to this round as Casey comes out roaring, and Tim Bell's power finally showed Troy.
Bell, wow-wee. That was some punching from Tim Bell in that previous round.
Bell looking to finish it there as Casey lands a big left hook, but you're not going to keep Tim Bell at bay. He's got a granite chin, as has Casey, who's shown both fighters withstood some big punches tonight.
Amazing
Bell moves forward.
Amazing resilience, Patrick, by Joel Casey as Tim Bell peppers him with left and right.
And looking like he's got the more powerful punches now as Casey starts to back up under this onslaught. Joel Casey, gee, he's brave. His Bell bleeds from the mouth, but he moves forward.
Holy guacamole, the intestinal fortitude of these two fighters.
As Casey lands a big overhand left, and they're going to go toe-to-toe. And he rocks Bell back for the first time in the fight as Casey lands a significant left. And what a brilliant 12 round this is shaping to be. Both fighters, Casey landing again. Left hand, some blood showing on Bell as Bell backs up, and Bell might have gassed himself in that last round, Troy. We've seen a significant shift in this fight to Casey, and Casey's moving and dancing. And Bell lands another left, straight left by Joel Casey, coming back like the true warrior here in the 12th round of this title fight. He wants that belt, and he'll do anything to get it.
Oh, he's digging deep, the reservoirs of courage. It's quite extraordinary. The crowd are on their feet.
And Joel Casey, the warrior, stepped it up. And Tim Bell hasn't landed any significant punches. Casey well ahead in this 12th and final round after a big round for Tim Bell in the previous round, the 12th. Casey lands another straight left. He's really got his range going on those left. And who wants it the most? Who's going to come home the strongest here? In bad blood, Tim Bell launches back into the fray. Casey responds with a left of his own. And these two warriors won't quit.
Can you believe this? This is an extraordinary fight that's taking place, and the crowd are on their feet at the Reggie Oakey Club.
The crowd are on their feet. Both corners are shouting.
Left
Tim
hand
Bell lands
Bell.
a left hook, and Casey comes in and lands a left of his own. And Tim Bell's roared back into contention here in round 12. Rounds up for grabs. Casey moves forward. Both fighters tired. Swing there from Tim Bell, and they deserve to be tied. They've put on a great show as Casey again counters with a straight left and times it beautifully. Who can you say? The crowd willing both fighters home in the final stance. The crowd is on their feet. Tim Bell showing some blood. He's taken quite a few shots tonight. Casey moves forward. Both exhausted warriors digging deep, trying to find everything they've got for the final stage of this fight. And Joel Casey landing some big shots as he closes. And Tim Bell counters out, toe-to-toe, left and right, and lands a big shot, forcing Casey into the clinch. Casey again landing his left. You won't find better action than that fight. Fight of the year.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new champion, the red corner.